Hello everyone, I am Alexandra. I attended 200-hour teacher training at Marianne yoga school in Mexico last December 2019. I had been practicing yoga before that for a few years. However, last year yoga helped me a lot physically and emotionally. It's been a challenging year for me, so I decided to dive deeper, and I am so happy that I chose Marianne School because I learned the really real yoga. So welcome to my class. I shall call it Stretch and Strengthen. We will start in a cross-legged position in the middle of our mats. Make sure your sitting bones are facing down, your abdominal muscles are engaged, chest open, and shoulder blades are connected to your back. Your chin is slightly tucked. Soft gaze at the horizon. Inhale through the nose and send your breath through your lungs into your belly. And as you exhale, draw your belly into your lower back and push the air out through your nose. Concentrate on even breathing. It means our inhale and exhale are the same length. And cross your legs and swing your right leg behind you. Make sure the tops of your feet are both on the floor in a so-called deer pose. Verify tall spine. Inhale, arms overhead, and exhale, plant your right hand and bend to the right, stretching the left side of your body, trying to reach the upper right corner with your left hand. Chest is not collapsing, and shoulders are drawn away from your ears. Gaze is soft and into the armpit. Inhale, come back to center, straighten your arm, and exhale, bend. One more. Inhale up, exhale to the right. One more up, and exhale to the right. Inhale and exhale. Inhale one more time. Exhale, bend to the right. Now come back to center, both arms overhead, and exhale, place your hands behind you. Switch legs. Now left goes behind you. Both tops of our feet, the tops of our feet are on the floor. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, plant your left hand and bend to the left. Reach into the upper left corner with your right hand. Stretch in this right side of your body. Gaze into the right armpit. Chest is open. Make sure your shoulders are not collapsing. Inhale, straighten your right arm. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, up. Exhale, bend to the left. And one more. Inhale, up. And exhale, bend to the left. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, plant them in front of you. Connect your toes behind you in a diamond shape and sit on your heels. Walk your hands forward, extending your arms. Engage your triceps to straighten your elbows and sink into this gentle chest opener and hip opener in a variation of a child's pose. Remember to breathe through your belly. Feel how it's resting on your quads. Feel that gentle, delicious stretch in your chest. And then walk your right hand to the right and place your left hand on top of your right. Just go into this soft stretch to the side in this child's pose variation. Come back to center and then switch sides. Left moves to the left and the right hand covers on top of it. Try to draw your sitting bones to the back. If you're not touching your heels, that's the objective. So even if you're not planted on your heels, still try to draw your sitting bones, draw your tailbone to the back. Now walk your hands back in front of you, open your feet and plant your heels into the squat. Wiggle your feet apart if you need a larger stance. Make sure you're not rounding in the lower back. Maybe you're not going to go as deep as I am, and that is fine. Inhale, arms overhead, and exhale, namaste, hands at the heart center, squat down. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale, sit into the squat. Inhale, up. Exhale, sit down with control. Feel how the joints, the major joints, your hip joints, your ankles, your knees are working, warming up for the upcoming practice. Be mindful of them. Therefore, engage your muscles, engage your hamstrings as you sit down and your quads as you straighten your legs. Come back to center and exhale, your hands to the sides. Now let's move to the top of our mats into the mountain pose. Feet are hip distance apart. Lift your toes and plant them. Tuck your tailbone, engage your abs, open your chest, and connect your shoulder blades to the back. Inhale, arms overhead. Look up, slide back bend. Exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. Relax your neck and relax your head. Maybe move it from side to side in a yes-no motion gently. Make sure your tailbone is sent to the back. And now engage quads and see if you can straighten your legs, straighten your knees. Palms are pressing firmly to the floor. Soften your knees and relax again. And engage your quads and see if you can sink deeper and straighten your knees completely. One more time. And straighten. Soften and roll gently, one vertebra at a time, to a standing position, mountain pose. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up, slide your hands on your shins. Exhale, step your left foot back, drop the left knee, untuck the toes, and inhale your arms overhead. Make sure your knee is not trekking over your ankle. Your shoulders are drawn away from your ears. Feel the nice stretch in the left hip flexor. Inhale, slide back bend. And exhale, come back to center. Plant your hands. Tuck your toes, lift your knee, and come into a warrior one position. Front knee is bent. Left heel is planted, and the left leg is straight. Press into the external side of your left foot to stabilize the pose. Now lift your back heel, rotate your toes to the side, and open your arms at the shoulder height to the side, palms facing up, and then exhale, palms down into warrior two. Make sure the hips and shoulders are in one plane and facing to the side. Straighten the front knee. Send your tailbone, your hips to the back, and start expanding forward, keeping both sides of your trunk parallel. And as soon as the lower side starts collapsing, plant your bottom hand and open your top hand, your top arm with your hand reaching to the sky. Gaze into the top armpit. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Bend in your front knee. Exhale, reverse warrior. Bring your right arm to the back, and your left hand can either rest on your back thigh or you can slide it across your hip bones to kind of feel the external rotation in the back leg. Now next, press your elbow into your front quad and bring your left arm through the bottom over your head into the wide angle. If you feel comfortable and you feel like you can go deeper, you can plant your right arm behind on the outside of your foot. And if you want to increase this pose even deeper, you can bind. You place your left hand on your quad behind your back. Align your front hand with your front elbow with your front knee and bind. Release your bind and come back to the warrior two and exhale. Come to a one-legged plank. Keep your right leg in the air and descend into chaturanga. Inhale into the up dog. Open your chest. Tuck your toes and come into down dog. Our first down dog through this practice. Remember to engage your triceps to straighten your elbows. One more. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, one more up dog, look up. Exhale, tuck your toes, send your tailbone in the sky, down dog. Inhale, untuck your toes, up dog, lift those thighs. Exhale, tuck your toes, send the tailbone to the sky. Press into your palms, engage your triceps to keep your elbows straight. Melt your upper body to the back, hug your ribs in. Engage your quads and draw your toes towards your ankles so your heels can plant. Inhale, lift your right leg behind you, foot flexed, bend the knee and open your hip. Inhale, straighten your leg with control. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Make sure your torso is not turning to the right with the leg. Your front body is square. Plant your right leg and step forward with your left foot. Drop the right knee, untuck the toes, and come into the slow lunge. Inhale, arms overhead. Your hips are facing forward. Your shoulders are drawn away from your ears. Inhale, slight back bend. Look into the sky. And exhale, plant your hands flanking your front foot. Lift your back heel, pivot your toes slightly to the side and rise to warrior one. Position, front knee is bent. Inhale, your arms overhead. Verify square hips and shoulders are out of your ears. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, lift your back heel, rotate your toes so they face into the side and exhale into a warrior two. Front knee is bent. Your hips and shoulders are facing to the side and your gaze is at the front hand. Straighten your front knee. Send your hips to the back and start extending forward for the triangle pose. Plant as soon as your lower side of your trunk starts collapsing and extend your left arm to the sky. Gaze into the left armpit. The glutes of your back leg are engaged to externally rotate your hip and stabilize the pose. Inhale, come back to warrior two. And exhale into the reverse warrior, bringing your left arm overhead, keeping hips facing to the side and chest open. Make sure your front knee is not trekking over your front ankle. Now place your front elbow into your quad and bring your back arm through the bottom over your head to the wide angle. Same protocol, you can plant your left hand if you feel comfortable, or you can bind, aligning your front elbow with the front knee and reaching under your leg, meeting your right hand and binding. Do not collapse your chest. So if you have to bend forward to come into the bind, then your body is not yet ready for that. Come back to the warrior two and exhale, plant your hands, come into one-legged plank. Left is in the air. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, open your chest. Look to the sky. Gentle bend in the neck, no strain. And exhale, tuck your toes, down dog. Tailbone is striving to reach to the sky, and your upper body is melting to the back. Do not, however, overextend your shoulders or your elbows. Lift your left leg, bend your knee, open the hip, and start straightening on the inhale and bending on the exhale, the knee like we did on the other side. Foot is flexed and the whole action is happening with control. One more, and plant your left leg, walk your dog, bend your knees, lift your heels, and just move your hips from side to side. It feels nice in the spine. Plant your heels and step forward. Inhale, look up in the half lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, back to standing, arms overhead, and exhale, hands at the heart center. Release your arms to the sides and come to the mountain pose. Feet hip distance apart, bend your knees. Inhale, arms overhead, tailbone is sent back, knees are bent in this imaginary chair. Make sure your knees are not tracking past your toes. Now shift your body weight to the right, pressing into the right toe. Bend your left knee more and cross your foot over your right quad and come into this bonsai pose. You can also wrap your right arm around your left foot for further stretch. Release, come back to the mountain pose. One more inhale, arms overhead, sit into imaginary chair, tailbone is tucked and send back, knees are not tracking over your front toes. Shift your weight to the left, lift your right leg, cross your foot across your left quad, and come again into the bonsai. Remember to press into the left toe to bring your bone alignment in the standing leg to the proper position. You can again wrap your left arm around your right foot to sort of engage into this nice stretch for hips, and release, come back to the mountain. Now we're gonna take a seat, extend your legs in front of you, feet flexed. If needed, take extra flesh from under your sitting bones. Connect your shoulder blades, press your palms to the floor, engage your triceps, and if needed you can slide your hands a little bit further to the back if your arms are longer. Keep your chest open, soft gaze, slightly above the line of the horizon in a staff pose. No rounding in the lower back. Make sure your ribs are hugged in, not flaring out. Now bend your left leg and send your left knee as much to the back as possible. Your toes will touch the thigh of your right leg. Keep your spine tall. Inhale, arms overhead. The front leg's foot is flexed to engage your leg muscles, and the quads of your front leg are also engaged. This will straighten your knee. Now engage your abdominal muscles and your front hip flexor to facilitate this fold. If your forearms are on the floor, planted on the floor, then you can reach and grab your front foot. Remember, the goal is not to place your head on your front knee or shin, but to extend your spine forward and then down. You can bind your hands behind your back, and then inhale back to seated position. Cross the left leg over your right leg and bend your right knee. Sit tall. Now draw your knee with your hands towards your chest. Make sure your shoulders are not collapsing. Next, wrap your right arm around your left knee and place your left hand behind you. Keep your spine tall and straight and look over your left shoulder. And remember to smile. Disengaged and come back to seated position. Now we will keep the left leg straight and foot flexed and the right leg bent and the knee sent to the back as much as possible. Inhale, arms overhead, and exhale, forward fold. Same principle, we extend in forward and then trying to sink down without compromising the beauty of our spine. Again, you can hook to your heel in front of you with your hands if your forearms are planted. If not, you can use a strap or a scarf or a belt to, so to say, lengthen your arms and facilitate this forward fold without compromising your back. Now come back to seated, cross your right leg over your left leg, keep the bend the left knee. Now wrap the right knee and draw it closer to your chest as much as possible. Wrap your left arm around your right leg and place your right hand behind you. Same principle, the spine remains tall and straight, no rounding in the lower back. Remember to engage your abdominal muscles. This will also engage your hip flexors and facilitate this twist. Gaze over the right shoulder. Disengage, come back to a seated position into a staff pose. Feet are flexed, knees are straight, and your hands are placed behind you. Inhale overhead and exhale into this full forward fold with both legs extended in front of us. Remember to keep your knees straight. You need to engage your quadriceps. And to facilitate the folding action, engage your hip flexors and your abdominal muscles. Same principle here. If your forearms do not plant on the floor, then use a strap or use a belt to hook to your feet and facilitate this forward fold. If your forearms plant on the floor, then you can wrap your hands around your feet and bind. Now slide your hands behind you, come to the seated pose, slightly further away than in the staff. Engage your triceps and inhale your hips to the sky into this reverse plank pose. Neck is not overextended. Exhale, come back to seated position. Maybe readjust your hands. Remember to engage your triceps, so your elbows are not taking the hit, not taking the load on that. And to connect your shoulder blades to your back. Inhale, your navel goes up to the sky, tall neck, so you're this beautiful straight line from your toes all the way to the crown of your head. Exhale, come back to seated. Maybe wiggle, maybe move your shoulders, dance with your upper body. Now plant your hands again, press into the ground, engage your triceps, connect your shoulder blades. Inhale, hips goes up to the sky. Reverse plank. Quite intense chest opener. It also works with your core, with your glutes, and with your triceps. Come back to seated, and now lay down, draw the knees to your chest, and tuck your nose between your knees into this ball. I feel so good. Now release your knees. Grab your feet on the outside and draw your knees into your armpits. Remember to keep the tailbone on the floor in this happy baby pose. Your shoulder blades are also remaining on the floor. Press your feet into the sky and your hands into the soles of your feet, so you create this counteraction. It's a wonderful exercise for releasing your lower back and also massaging the muscles that go along your spine. It is also a wonderful hip opener. You can rock from side to side, massaging the said muscles that run along the spine. Now release your feet to the ground. Plant them as close to your bum as possible. Your feet hip distance apart. Your hands are planted and firmly pressed into the ground. And on the inhale, lift your hips to the sky, connecting your shoulder blades and creating this beautiful bridge with two foundations. Your one foundation is your feet. Press firmly into your feet, and your second foundation is your shoulder girdle. So connect your shoulders, release your neck. Your neck is absolutely relaxed. And exhale, plant your spine one vertebra at a time, back to the ground. Readjust if needed. Now press into the palms, press into your feet, and lift your hips to the sky, keeping your knees hip distance apart. That means you need to engage your inner thigh muscles. Like logically, your glutes are engaged right now to bring your hips to the sky. However, that also externally rotates your hips. So engage your inner thighs or place a block or a book between your knees to keep them at hip distance apart. So your knees are not flaring to the side. Exhale, one vertebra at a time. We place our spine back to the ground. Relax and engage the second of rest. One last bridge pose. Inhale, hips to the sky. Your navel is looking into the ceiling. Your palms are pressing firmly into the floor. And your knees are parallel and hip distance apart. Neck is relaxed. Exhale slowly. Lower your upper body to the ground. Now straighten your knees and bring your feet flexed, facing the sky. And place your hands at shoulder height, your arms like angel wings. Bend your knees and plant them to the side of your choice without forcing it. That means If you need a block or a blanket under your knees or your feet, please do so. Your whole body should be relaxed, and both shoulders should be on the floor. So if keeping them on the floor means you need to lift your knees or feet, then place something under so your whole body is relaxed. Inhale, come back to center and switch side. Twisting to the opposite. If you feel like you can enhance this very relaxing pose, you can draw your knees closer to the elbow and turn your head to the opposite side from your knees. Next, we're coming to our conclusive pose, supported fish. This is where we can use a bolster or a rolled blanket, like I'm doing. So place it all the way against your bum and lower your upper body onto the blanket. It's a very gentle chest opener. It feels especially good after the forward folds we did at the end of our practice. Bring your awareness back to your breathing. Inhale in through the nose and sending your breath into your belly. Feeling the fresh, healing air illuminating your body. Maybe send it to the corners or parts of your body that need some extra attention. Maybe it's the right wrist from working too much at a desk. Or maybe it's the neck from texting too much. Just bring awareness to all the sensations, whether they're new or old, in your body. Register them and be mindful of that through your day. Honor your body, listen to it, and it will lead you where you need to be. Our bodies are so intelligently built, and they're not just vehicles for our desires and goals. When you're ready, come back to a seated position. You can use the folded blanket or the bolster as your prop for a more facilitated pose. We're coming back to the cross-legged position where we started. Place your hands on your knees. Maybe you want to close your eyes, keeping your spine tall and straight. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Expand your chest and send it into your belly. And as you exhale, press firmly your stomach muscles and against your lower back and push all the used air out through your nostrils. I thank you kindly for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed the class, and I wish you to be happy.